Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here today, and I know lunch comes right away after my speech. So at Fintech Moldova, dessert comes first. So actually, I would like to share with you my experience that started in open banking like 1.5 years ago. And open banking scared the hell out of me. I thought people that engage in understanding and building open banking APIs must be either geniuses or insane. And I'm still here. And what can I say? I'm not scared anymore. And I'm mesmerized by the opportunities that open banking is bringing to the table now. Maybe you never heard about Saltage. Not judging you, but we are quite famous worldwide. And we are specialized in building API strategies and building API solutions for clients that want to implement creative ideas in this domain using open banking. And we work with lenders, banks, accounting software companies, ERPs, PFMs, etc. Here you can see a list of companies that trust us, and there are names that do not need any presentation, like Western Union, like Société Générale, Pleo, Finastra, etc. What we are actually doing. So basically you have to remember that on one side we build APIs, and on the other side, we consume APIs. So the first solution here, the PSD2 compliance, it's the technology that help banks and other financial institutions to become compliant in 1 month. And on the other hand, when I was saying we consume APIs, it's actually using the open banking gateway, which allows customers to access more than 5,000 banks in Europe and beyond through a unified gateway, which is awesome. And also here you would see the white label PFM that might be interesting to you. The message here is about open banking happening now. It's not about the future. We are already in this 9 years. So Moldova is actually catching the train and not building the future, because what is coming is even more important. It's open finance and open economy. And what does it mean? It means that the flow of information, the data that is going to be processed would hugely increase. And more than that, this process would lead to a centralization of financial services. And that's why Moldova has to build already strategies regarding open finance and open economy. One of my precious and favorite memes on the internet is actually about attitude towards data of banks that was usual. So things are changing now because banks understood that if you actually open the access to the data, you can have a lot more money. And I think that's important because now everyone here can decide what is to be done with such a priceless piece of information, which is financial data. And I know everybody here talked about open banking benefits, and that's how Saltage sees and structured it. And it's about gaining new business models and money and revenues. And you grow your customer lifetime value, you automate all the processes, and that means you cut a lot of costs. You gain extra distribution channels, and you know, it's like in love relationships. So in order to understand your partner, you have to know his wishes, his desires, his dreams, and that's when you actually can build a strong relationship, right? And that's how open banking is helping banks, because then you really understand your customer. And another thing, but here my comparison with lovely relationship is not quite advisable. It brings you more partners. So actually you acquire new undeserved clients, the one that you would never actually target just because you've opened your APIs. Open banking journey, you start with developing an API mentality first. You have to understand what's going to be looking like your internal APIs, the one that would share information. You'd have to establish a data processing roadmap, because open banking data doesn't mean that the data is out in the open. It just means it can be shared only with the trusted parties and only if the customer gave the consent. Then you would need to become compliant, and my next slide is all about it, and embracing the new business models. And this would be another presentation. Starting with a proper PSD2 compliance implementation is a hard work. And this is where actually bank will have to invest a lot of money and effort, because you would need a set of APIs with clear documentation that would be easy to understand by the TPPs that would like to try out your APIs. Then you would need to have a working sandbox where TPPs can play around and to see if they can plug and play. You would need a mechanism where you can understand if the TPPs that want to read the information, to process the information from the bank accounts of your clients actually has the right to access the amount of data that they want to. And also to understand if the client still want the third-party provider to see those informations. Then you would need a team that would actually be responsible to communicate, to establish an efficient communication with your clients and with the third-party providers that would face the problems, and also to keep in mind that this system might be very changing and it need permanent maintenance. And this would be very hard, I know, but only if you don't remember that PSD2 compliance is one of the Saltage's solutions, right? So actually everything that I've showed you here is a tool that Saltage is offering through this solution, PSD2 compliance, and everything that is described here, we make you compliant just in 1 month, which I think is quite awesome. All right, here's when the money comes, because everybody is interested where you can monetize your APIs. And we've came with some of use cases that our clients are using. And remember, it gives you the opportunity to connect to more than 5,000 banks in Europe and beyond. I am a loyal user of the personal finance manager of some of the Moldovan banks. I've seen banking here already implemented it, but multi-banking feature is something that could be quite interesting, since you would have the possibility to connect all your banking accounts from any bank in your banking app. So it means that your customer will receive a financial situation snapshot in real time from any bank right in your banking app. And that means that you could actually upscale and do the cross sales and come with a lot of interesting solutions and insightful advices, because you know your client. Then we saw what other banks in other countries were doing for a quite evaluated sector, which is SMEs. And some of our clients brought to the attention of SMEs accounting and ERP services. That gives the solution to businesses to see the information from all their bank accounts in one place. And more than that, you can keep an automated bookkeeping, or actually you have instant transaction processing and real-time reporting. I think this is life-changing for SMEs and game-changing for banks, because that's how an SME would actually switch to another bank. One of our favorite is the perfect use case to show how open banking is changing the lending and credit analysis. And I would prefer to show you a flow, because I think it's more important than and useful than just a slide. And I hope the guys there will help me with pressing play. And you can imagine here it's a page with the loan product of a bank, and you could apply for a loan online, of course. And I hope you press play. And if you would give this solution to your client, then the client would have the possibility here to check the loan amount, the term, and the monthly payment, and then he would have the possibility to choose the account, which is HBC, and in this case, so your bank would have the ability now to see the information from the HSBC account. You would now be redirected to the HBC page, where you would have to include your password and login, and voila, now any bank, the bank that offered this product, has the end customer, the client's information from a bank that is actually not the same bank where he's applying for the loan. And this flow can be repeated many times if the client wants to share with you some other bank accounts from other banks. Then I will be very fast with the payment initiation use cases, that I think it's an opportunity that it's absolutely amazing and full of potential. Why? Because it has the talent to exclude the intermediaries in the payment flow. So basically, it helps saving the money for card processing. And here are two of the use cases that we selected at Saltage. Is some of the clients, retailers mostly, I think they would be more interested about in, is pay by bank. So basically, you would give the possibility at the checkout to include this button where your client can pay by the bank. So it won't involve any credit cards or any other intermediaries, right? And I think it's a game changer. And treasury management would also be helpful for businesses, allowing corporates to pay for utilities, to pay for taxes, to pay for salaries, or any bank bulk payments at once from any bank, from any EU bank, directly from your banking app. I hope that my presentation wasn't very boring, because open banking can be fun, and we've seen at Saltage that our clients are having incredibly creative ideas, like this one that we selected, carbon footprint calculation based on the acquisition that you are having. You can calculate the way that you impact the nature. Then we know how endorphins can actually help in building strong relationships, right? And gamification for banks can be the solution where end user would actually love your products. And personalized campaign, since you know your client, and maybe if you know that I buy every month food for dogs, I would be more interested to donate for dog shelters rather than for planting trees, right? So I actually think that open banking is that, helping banks, destroying the stereotype where they are the evil or that they are not caring about the end customers. I think the clients can be very interested in the products that you can offer through open banking, and I wish you good luck with that. My team here, which is Mark Perlov, product owner, and Dan Martalog, sales representative at Soltage, are here to answer to any of your open banking questions. Thank you again, and poftă bună!